Hello Stampers, welcome to day 2 of the 12 days of Christmas paper crafting. I'm Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie, and today I'm going to show you a really cute project that holds a Ghirardelli chocolate on the back and a couple wrapped Hershey nuggets on the front. We just wrap them in a little bit of designer series paper. I'm going to show you how to create this project. It's fun and easy, and I am going to be using the Snowman Season stamp set. So let's get started. First of all, let me tell you the supplies that you need for this project. You're going to need a piece of cardstock cut at 10.5 by 3. You're going to need a couple pieces of designer series paper. These two pieces here are both cut at 3 inches by 1 7/8. And then you need a piece 1 7/8 by 7/8 inch. Actually, that's that one. And then you need a piece 1 7/8 by 1 3/8. You're going to need a little piece of Whisper White to do the little greeting over here, let it snow. And that's 1 inch by about 2.5 inches. We're going to cut a little bit off on the ends, so maybe just a little scrap piece. This is a piece of scrap black. Mine's kind of big, but it's really just for the hat. A piece of soft suede to do the snowman arms if you choose. This one I didn't. I wasn't sure if the arms would get bumped off when pulling out the nuggets, so I thought on this one I'm going to show you today I will put the arms. And then we need a piece of Whisper White just big enough to stamp the snowman and punch him out. So I'm going to set these pieces aside. We do need to do some scoring today. And I will tell you that there's quite a bit of scoring, but don't be intimidated. We're going to go real slow. And if you need to, go ahead and stop the video and rewind if you need to. Get a piece of paper and a pen so you can write them down and go back and do it later. All right, so on the 3-inch side, we're going to score at 1/2 of an inch and 2.5 inches. And then we're going to turn it over to this 10.5 side. And we're going to score at 1 inch, 1.5, 3.5, 5, 6.5, 8.5, and 9. That's a lot of scoring. And again, go ahead if you need to, stop the video, rewind, and write down the measurements, and then pick back up where we're going to start here. Now on every one of these lines up to this 1/2 inch score mark, we're going to take our paper snips and cut right up to that 1/2 inch score line. And I like to cut a little bit of an angle. It just helps the box go together just a little bit better. So we need to do this on both sides. I wish that I had a way to speed this up, so I'll just try to do it very quickly but efficiently. Again, this just helps the box go together a little bit better so that none of the ends are hanging over. We're going to flip it around and do it on the other side too. I like this project because you can get 2 from 1 sheet of cardstock, which is very nice. And once you've made 1 or 2 of them, you'll see that they go together pretty quickly. And it does help you to use up some of your small pieces of cardstock or designer series paper scrap. All right, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Now we want to fold and burnish all of these score lines. This is the center of our paper. And you'll see that there's a score mark here and a score mark here to the left and right of the center. We are not going to burnish those folds. If you accidentally do it, it's not a big deal. You'll see once the box goes together, it's not a huge deal. It just offers a little more stability to the box if you do not. So we're going to burnish all of the score lines except for those left and right of that center line. So that includes all of the ones that go down that 1/2 inch score mark. And then all of the ones that go down the ones that we did on the 10.5 inch side. Just remembering not to fold on those score lines there. Mostly I'm saying that for myself because I've made this box a couple times and I have actually folded on that score line, and like I said, it's not a big deal. Now again, here is the center of the box. There are 2 tabs right here. So again, here's the center. These are the score lines we did not fold and burnish. We're going to put adhesive on these and glue them down. I'm going to use Tombow liquid adhesive. You could use any strong adhesive that you want to. You shouldn't glue up your work surface there. You just want something strong. Whenever we're making boxes or 3D items, I like to use a real strong adhesive. I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure that it's really well adhered there. Okay, so now this is going to become the inside of the box. This is where we just folded the tabs down, and this part of the box is going to come down. So I am going to take my bone folder again and just burnish that down a little bit. Now what we need to create is this little box here on the side to hold our treats. So it's like we're creating a box on this piece of paper, but 2 separate boxes. Okay, we need to make one on this end and this end. So we're going to start, I have the parts that I glued right here. I'm going to flip that over so they're on the back side. I'm going to flip over this little tab here and I'm going to put some adhesive right there. Now I'm going to take this tab right here and I'm going to bring it forward and adhere it to that little tab that I just put adhesive on. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And now what I need to do is put adhesive on this other tab, the front part of the box, and bring that forward. And just go ahead and put some adhesive on here and hold it for a minute, let it stick really well, and on this side and let it stick really well. Usually when you're using the Tombow multi-purpose adhesive, it just takes a minute to dry. So now we have this side, which is going to be our side for the Ghirardelli. Just trying to give you a good view of what this looks like. So now I'm going to open this back up. Again, my tabs that I glued are down. I'm going to fold in this little tab here. Put some adhesive on those teeny tabs. I folded them down, so it's basically on the back side of it. Now I'm going to bring this tab here forward and put it on that adhesive. And just hold it for a minute and let it dry. I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Now I need to do the front side of the box. And we'll just hold that down for a minute. And hold this side down for a minute. Okay, so now when you lay it out, this is the center that we had. These are the 2 that we did not fold on, the score lines we did not fold on, and we have 2 boxes. You'll see that one is a little bit shorter here, one is a little taller. I wanted to be able to see the Hershey nuggets from the top, and on this side I wanted to make sure that the Ghirardelli square didn't fall out, so I need to make that one a little bit taller. So now what we're going to do is bring it forward, and we're just going to glue this. So again, use a strong adhesive. I'm going to use a liquid adhesive. You want to make sure that all the corners have some adhesive so that the box sticks together and doesn't pop apart. And then we're just going to bring it together, make sure that our corners match up really well. And then just go through and kind of hold it to make sure that everything is adhering together. And at this point, you can't really use your bone folder very well. I see a little piece there I want to trim off because it looks like that got a little out of square, and that's okay. So it's perfectly fine. It stands. Now what we want to do is go ahead and we're going to put this piece of designer paper down inside. And on my other one that I did here, I did one designer paper on one side. Oh, on this one I used the same. Another one that I made, I used 2 different sides. So we're just going to slide that right in there. Make sure that there's a good reveal here on the top and put it inside. And I think I'm going to do the same on both sides this time. All right, so just put that down inside. Now we need to put the fronts, this part right here. And then we're going to get to do a little bit of stamping. We need to stamp out our snowman and our Let It Snow sign. And then, of course, get our treats put inside too. One thing that we do need to do is, you can see here, I did cut a little bit of an angle there just to make it look a little prettier. So I'm going to go from the side of my box up to the corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side and come up to the corner. So you can see that there's a nice matching angle there. Whoops. And then I'm going to come up to this corner. And so now we have an angle. I'm going to grab my stamps and my punch. And I'll get everything stamped out here, and then we can punch out the snowman and get that put on our project. And the Let It Snow is also done in Memento Black. And I'm going to put that right here in the center. And that is all of our stamping that we need to do. I do need to get my Stampin' Blends marker. And I'm using Pumpkin Pie. I'm just going to do that right here for the snowman nose. And then on this one, what I did is I just cut at a little bit of an angle. Let me set it there, and I'll show you as I do it. I'm going to go from this angle up, and then you want to match the same angle coming the other way. So that piece is all set. And now I need to punch some snowman arms, so I'm just going to do that with my punch here. And I'll tell you, the snowman arms, they fly. All right, and the last thing that I need to do is a snowman hat, so I'm just going to take my basic black and punch a little hat. And then I need to punch out my snowman, so I'll go ahead and put him in there, line him up, and punch him out. Now, like I said, on this one I did not put arms. I'm going to try and put arms here and see if I feel like they are going to get in the way and get pulled off when I'm delivering my treat or not. Okay, so I just put a little bit of adhesive on the back, stuck the arms on, and there they are. Okay, and then we want to put a little adhesive up here. And we'll put the hat on. Now, if you wanted to, I won't do it today, but if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of glitter to the top of his hat. And I'm going to put this snowman on this side where the Hershey nuggets are, just because it's a little shorter. But you could actually put a snowman on either side. So I have that drying there, and then I did put the Let It Snow sign on with a couple dimensionals, so I'm going to do that again. sometimes when I do a project, I like to modify a little bit from project to project to see, oh, maybe this will work a little better, or I like the way that looks. So feel free to do that on this project too. So there's our little Let It Snow sign. And now the only other thing that I want to show you is how to wrap the nuggets real fast. This is the Hershey nugget. I usually get the plain ones because not everyone likes almonds. There are some ones with little Heath bits in them, and those are very delicious. So what you want to do is cut a piece of designer paper at 1 inch by 3 inches. And whatever side you want to be the outside, flip it over, and you're going to put tear and tape right here on this end here and on this end here. And then when I wrap the nugget, I like to look at the way the wrapper is going and have the wrapper going that way and put my tape up here, because if you put it here and start pulling, you could pull the wrapper off. Well, and then you might have to eat that one and you might run out. You won't have enough for your project. So make sure that the tape is on there pretty well and just roll it right around. And then your second piece of tear and tape will just attach right there. So that's how I wrapped the nuggets. I did 2 for this project. And then I already wrapped them just so that you wouldn't have to watch me do that. I'm going to stick those right in here. Of course, the nuggets go on the side where it's a little bit shorter. And then I have some of the peppermint. These are peppermint with brownie filling Ghirardelli squares, and that slides right in there. So these are all ready to go and to give out as a treat to someone special this holiday season. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and if you're following me on YouTube, be sure and click the subscribe button below. And if you found me through Facebook, please be sure and subscribe. And follow me over at Facebook at facebook.com/stampitwithdebbie. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again tomorrow for day 3 of the 12 days of paper crafting Christmas. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon.